What is up, guys? This is the Casual Wrestling Podcast, where each and every week I, the Notorious Nerdy D, breaks down everything you need to know as a casual wrestling fan. The show now posts every Wednesday weekly on YouTube and podcast networks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the cool wrestling content and pop culture content that we post. Housekeeping for the week. Make sure, if you have not already done it, I think there's about 20 people who have joined the Discord. And it's like I said, man, last week, it's been fun. That's been one of the best things that I've gotten to do that's come along with doing a podcast, is creating the Discord and being able to talk wrestling outside of just the show and just the things I say on the microphone. We actually get to kind of follow up the conversation all week and talk about different people posting different news stories and different takes. And I get to actually kind of comment back on other people's takes, which has been a lot of fun. So if you haven't already, make sure to join the Discord. And this episode will post tonight. So you'll have roughly 12 hours if you want to jump in and join the casual community bracket challenge for the NCAA men's March Madness tournament. I posted it in the Discord, but I'll throw it out there in case you listen to this before noon on Thursday. You'll still be able to get into that and join. Most of us, it's been 10 years since I played college basketball. 10 years, more than that, it's been 15 years since I played college basketball. So I don't know a lot of what's going on, but I will guess my way to a bracket championship this year. All right, let's jump into it. Let's jump right into the wrestling content this week. And let's start off in the same place that I started off last week, and that was with me saying that WWE has a Cody Rhodes problem. Now, I've had 7 days to think on that statement, and I've had 7 days of the IWC bitching and complaining and whining and crying and commenting and trying to explain to me I'm creating a problem that doesn't exist. Bullshit. I've had 7 days to think about this, and I think I've figured out what it is about Cody Rhodes and the booking of Cody Rhodes that has created what I'm coining the Cody problem. And it's nepotism. It's the fact that Cody Rhodes came back, cut a promo his first night back on Monday Night Raw that felt like he was coming back to work his way up to the top, and we were going to go through a year or two of Cody just grinding it out and getting to the top of the mountain and becoming the champion that his dad never could be, and it was going to be this epic story. Now fast forward 6 months from Cody's return, and here we are, and we left out the whole middle part of the story. We left out the part where he earns his way to a WWE title match. And Cody Rhodes is now coming across as kind of a nepotism case. I think that Cody Rhodes had the possibility to be booked in WWE as sort of the blue collar worker, the guy who just gets the job done, who will wrestle everybody night in and night out. And instead, unfortunately, Cody gets hurt, disappears for 4 or 5 months, returns back to no surprise. They announce his return, comes out number 30 in the Royal Rumble, and is gifted a spot in the main event of WrestleMania. And so when I say there's a Cody problem, the problem's not with Cody Rhodes. I have no problem with Cody Rhodes. In fact, I like Cody Rhodes. I think that his character presents a lot of interesting possibilities in WWE. What I don't like is this idea of fast-tracking Cody into the main event when he hasn't done anything to earn it. He's literally, look, since Cody Rhodes has come back to WWE, he's literally been in one program with Seth Rollins. That's it. He's been in one program with Seth Rollins. Unfortunately, you get injured. Injuries happened. But maybe that postpones your plan. But here we go. I take this back to the idea that, all these things I've been saying the last couple weeks that the IWC hates. I've been saying WWE panicked when The Rock said no, which means they had to insert Cody Rhodes into the main event, which means you completely dismantled any semblance of a WWE WrestleMania 39 card that makes sense. In turn, I'm calling it's a Cody problem. It's more a Rock problem, probably. Like if you want to be more specific, it's a Triple H counting on the Rock problem. But just by design and kind of, by the way things have folded out, I'm calling it the Cody problem because it has caused a little bit of disruption between the fans of Sami Zayn and the IWC who, look, you're learning quickly. There is a WWE version of the IWC, and they're the ones screaming that WWE can do no wrong, that this is the right main event, when clearly it's not. It's not organic. It's been forced upon us. Let's be honest, right? Cody is telling a story. And Cody's story, as he likes to say, is that he has to finish his story. The problem is, Cody, stories have beginnings, they have middles, and they have endings. And all we've seen from you is a beginning where you came back, you made promises, you fought Seth Rollins 3 times, then you're trying to jump straight to the ending, WWE. And you're leaving out the story elements that make something intriguing. It's the moments in between that make the journey worth the finish. And I really think that the problem is going into WrestleMania, I don't think there's very many people who want Cody Rhodes to win at this point. Because there's no emotional investment into Cody Rhodes. The difference in Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes is 100% emotional investment. It's not, look, I'm not saying that Cody Rhodes is not getting the pop. When I say he's not getting an emotional response from the crowd, sure, they cheer when Cody Rhodes comes out, but he's also got a pretty neat entrance. He's got a good theme song. The crowd participation on the part, it works. But when he cut the promo this past Monday, the crowd wasn't emotionally invested. Go back and watch the last 2 months of Sami Zayn cutting promos and somebody explain to me where I'm wrong in the fact that the crowd is far more behind Sami Zayn than they are behind Cody Rhodes. That's why I'm calling it a Cody problem. But here's the reality. I can tell you if WWE, if Triple H had any real booking integrity and any real booking intelligence going into WrestleMania, you could have booked it like this. You could have had Cody come out number 1 in the Royal Rumble and have him beat 30 superstars. Rhea Ripley didn't need to do that. Have that story belong to Cody Rhodes so that Cody can immediately come out and say, look, I was better than 30 other guys on that January night. Already, you instill a little bit of credibility. You give him a little bit of a blue collar attitude. If he can say with a definitive statement, I beat 30 other people, 29 other people, whatever it is, I beat them and I won the Royal Rumble. Instead, all he can say is I was number 30 and I came out and I won the Royal Rumble. That comes off more as nepotism as blue collar, right? Here's what should have happened after that. After Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble, and it became evident in the weeks moving forward that Sami Zayn was still the crowd favorite and that the crowd still wanted more out of the Sami and Roman Reigns story. They should have had Cody Rhodes come out Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, wherever you want to do it, and he should have cut a promo with Sami Zayn in the ring where he says, this isn't what Dusty would have wanted. Dusty didn't want me to come out here and blue collar or nepotism my way to a title match. So what I'm going to do for you, Sami, I'm going to gift you a rematch at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, and I am going to earn my way. I'm going to fight the gauntlet. I'm going to go up the ladder and earn my shot at a world title match, which could either have been at SummerSlam, or if you want to do it for a whole year, have Cody beat the best of the best and have that match at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. That's a story. That's got a beginning. That's got a nice middle, and it could have a beautiful ending. And Cody could tell the story week in and week out, month in and month out, how I am the best in the business no matter what company I'm in. And he could tell that story as he beat the Drew McIntyres, as he beat the Sheamuses, as he possibly got a match with someone like John Cena at SummerSlam, and just build up a resume that's undeniable going into WrestleMania 40 that he deserves that title shot. That makes more sense to me. Have him win the Royal Rumble again if you want, which just builds up this mystique. Have him win it at number 1 next year and have him turn over that title shot to Sami. But Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39 should have been playing a support role to Sami Zayn. The build up towards WrestleMania should have been Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens playing support to Sami Zayn as he gets a clear and fair shot at the world title at WrestleMania in the main event. That's how that story should have gone. Even as far as I think a hell of a match at WrestleMania 39 would have been some form or fashion of Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. Two guys who are on the brink of kind of breaking through that glass ceiling and being big time guys. You could argue Cody already is, but Jey is right there. A Jey versus Cody match, undercard of Sami and Roman Reigns. That's how you tell stories. You have Cody take out Jey Uso. You have Sami Zayn beat Roman Reigns, right? Let's say you're just building towards SummerSlam. So you have Sami Zayn beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and you get that magical moment where like the crowd goes home happy, everybody's stunned, everybody's shocked, and for the next month you have basically Roman and the Bloodline in disarray. It looks like it's all falling apart. Then somehow, by some means, they pull it all back together going into Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash. This is what Backlash is for. And you have Roman destroy Sami Zayn. The Bloodline. However they do it, they cheat, whatever they do, and Roman wins back the titles, and the crowd rolls their eyes and they go, oh, bullshit, we're back to the same shit again. You storyline injure Sami Zayn so you can get him out of the picture for a little bit, and you have Cody be the Avenger who comes to avenge the injury of the friend he has been supporting for the last 2 months, and that's how you write the story. And then it becomes not about Cody and finishing his story and his dad, but it becomes more about Cody kind of taking some of that pop that Sami Zayn has right now and using that to move forward into SummerSlam, where he then could beat Roman Reigns and move forward probably pretty securely as the champion with a pretty good backing from the crowd. Sami could kind of reintroduce himself, or even if you had Sami and Kevin win the tag team titles at SummerSlam, and you kind of have this power triangle of Sami, Cody, and KO that you can move forward with. But this all feels like it's been way too rushed to have Cody just thrust into the spotlight and not be a blue collar worker or blue collar, contender for the title. And what this kind of transitions into is there's other people who have been affected by this. Look at Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens looks like a lost puppy on Monday Night Raw, because he went from looking like he was going to have a rocket strapped to his back and be pushed to the moon to, what is Kevin like? I get that he's a part of the Bloodline story, but he keeps kind of failing. And it feels like when he cuts a promo that weirdly he's being told like, hey, you got to big up Cody Rhodes. Make sure you mention Cody Rhodes. Hey, did we tell you? Don't forget to talk about Cody Rhodes. And I think Kevin Owens is kind of scratching his head going like, what happened to the roadmap that we had going into WrestleMania? It feels like he's a little bit of an outsider. Now, I know we got a couple weeks to bring it all back together, and Sammy and KO are inevitably going to team up to try to take out the Bloodline. But is that really the best version of this story we could have told? Or is this more like Game of Thrones season 8, where we just kind of feel like, hey, we got to put something on the TV. Let's just rush it all together. Question. How long is everybody going to be interested in a Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tag team run? Like, it will be fun initially. I get it. It will be fun when it first happens, if they beat the Usos and we get to have this celebration of the best friends. But how long does that work before we start going like, damn, I miss the Usi Sammy. And damn, I miss the kind of like hyped up Kevin Owens that we got back in October. Like, how long does a tag team of these two guys work? It works to destroy the Bloodline, but is that a long-term solution for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? I don't think it is. I think that the whole Cody Rhodes problem has begun to leak into other stories and cause people to be a little bit displaced, where like this should have been a big WrestleMania for Kevin Owens, coming off the push he got in October and November when Triple H was kind of at like the high of everybody being big on his booking. And now it looks to me like, you know, Kevin Owens is going to be kind of an afterthought at WrestleMania. Well, which kind of leads me into, let's talk about WrestleMania some more here, and the news that we got these last couple days about Bray Wyatt. So apparently there's conflicting reports, but reports I've read say Bray Wyatt is MIA for whatever reason. Is it injury? Is it creative problems and differences? I don't know. You can't identify a full story, but the truth, but I think the thing that's not being conflicted is that Bray Wyatt is not actively scheduled for a program as of right now. It looks like, you know, Bobby Lashley came out and tweeted, doesn't matter who it is, I'm ready for WrestleMania. So as far as it looks right now, Bray Wyatt's not going to be at WrestleMania. And I said this 3 months ago. You guys want to go look it up and find it for me? 3 months ago, I said, everybody's giving Triple H his flowers. Everybody's saying what a great creative mind Triple H is, and Bray Wyatt, and how they're just, you know, this was the most brilliant thing we've ever seen in WWE with following the White Rabbit and QR codes. And I said, we got to be careful. We got to be careful to start championing these guys too soon, because the reality is, I said, I believe by SummerSlam, they won't know what to do with Bray Wyatt anymore. Guys, it's WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt has had one match, and they don't know what to do with Bray Wyatt. Now, I don't know if that's Triple H. I don't know if it's Bray Wyatt just being difficult, not wanting to cooperate. But I sympathize with Bray Wyatt, because your first match back after all of that build is a sponsored Mountain Dew pitch black match, which looked cool, but it was stupid. It furthered your story absolutely nothing. Then Alexa Bliss goes missing, and it looks like from her tweets that there may be a little bit of animosity there. It looks like from Bray Wyatt that there may be a little animosity there. The reality is, I just think WWE right now at this point in time, they don't know what they want to be. They don't know if they still want characters. They don't know if they want to look more like the UFC. They don't know. I think there's a lot of disarray inside the creative rooms in WWE, and we just don't, we haven't really heard about it yet. But like, has there ever been a bigger build to nothing? Maybe the Raw Anonymous General Manager, where they played that out over time, and then it ended up being like Hornswoggle or something like that. But like, this Bray Wyatt build was, when you know, I started shitting on it a little early, but everybody else was sold that this was like the greatest thing in professional wrestling. And they kept telling me, you just got to be patient. You just got to be patient. These wrestling fans, they just can't be patient. Everything has to pay off immediately. No, it's that I saw a boat with no captain being steered off in a direction that made absolutely no sense. And so I started shitting on it early by saying, let's be careful, because I don't know, is this like What is Bray Wyatt building to? What is this story he's trying to tell? Is it getting too deep? Is it going down too many different directions? We've got these characters who have shown up. Now they're gone. Now they come back at Royal Rumble, but now there's no mention of them. Now Bray Wyatt's on the screen singing Muscle Man to Bobby Lashley. Like, none of there's no cohesiveness. There's no through line to the story. And it leads me to believe WWE just doesn't know what to do with Bray Wyatt. So they just kind of parade him around and do the same little tropes that they know, the Firefly Funhouse and those things. And I'm not going to blame it on Bray. I'm not going to blame it on WWE. I think it's a combination. But if you asked me right now, I'm guessing this is an injury. There was nothing to kind of signal that most of the time you can pinpoint back to where an injury or something physical happened. I'm guessing there are creative problems right now between Bray Wyatt and WWE, and whether or not that is look, Vince McMahon is hanging around. There's no doubt in my mind at this point that Vince McMahon is in some form or fashion calling some shots at this point, and maybe what this is once again, Vince McMahon just doesn't like Bray Wyatt, and he shits on any semblance of a story going forward. But I thought we made it at least to SummerSlam. But it looks like, WrestleMania 39, one match for Bray Wyatt, and we already are kind of just I guess we've written him off and we don't know what we're doing with him. But that kind of leads me into, I wanted to take a second to talk about the IWC. I haven't had an opportunity to talk about the IWC in a long time, and I wanted to kind of talk about it after posting the Cody Problem this past week and kind of remembering what it is to post something that is actually it's real information. Now, does it mean I'm right? Not at all. I could be completely wrong. It's my opinion, but it's real information. What I'm saying is true information about Cody Rhodes, and a lot of you guys do agree with me. And then there's a lot of people who don't agree with me. But what it leads me to understand is that this outpouring every time I say something that the IWC doesn't like, it reminds me what it is that separates myself from IWC, from being an internet wrestling fan as opposed to a casual fan. And that is that I am able to stare the truth in the face. I like WWE. I've stopped watching AEW. I am a fan. I want WWE to be good. There is nothing I want more than to turn on WrestleMania 39 and for it to be absolutely fabulous. And I turn it off and we get on to the Discord and we talk about how great it is and how wrong I was. But the truth is, that's probably not going to happen. And I'm able to have a strong enough grip on reality to understand that WWE does a lot wrong and that WWE is trending in the wrong direction as far as things like Cody Rhodes, Bray Wyatt, Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey. I'm able to see it for what it is. And sometimes I'm just a little bit ahead of the curve is the problem. And so when I say these things, everybody overreacts to them and they get upset and you're an idiot. You're starting problems where there's not problems. And then it won't be 3 weeks later that everybody's spilling the same fucking sentiment and same story that I was telling, but now it's gospel. And I laugh. I said this 6 months ago. Vince McMahon would be back. I said that. I said, I don't even know if he ever left. Those are things that I said that you can go back and find on this podcast. And there were IWC members, that's asinine. The way companies work and the board of directors, they would never allow it to happen. He's hanging around in the back. The booking absolutely looks like it's changed. We're getting Omos versus Brock Lesnar. Those all feel very Vince McMahon-ish. I can't prove that. But I think there's a lot of people who agree that it feels like Vince is back in the fold, right? I said early on that Liv Morgan wasn't ready for the main event, right? People got mad. There was the IWC Liv Morgan fan club, and they were all upset and pissed off, and they came after me and told me what bullshit it was. Here we are removed from that, and Liv Morgan is still not a main event player. She doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. You guys went from telling me that she made a great champion to, I don't know where she fits in at WrestleMania. So, right again, right? Just ahead of the curve. I talked lately about Bianca Belair and how she's falling flat. And there's a Bianca Belair fan club, which I am a fan of Bianca Belair and I want her to succeed. But there's a Bianca Belair fan club who thinks she can do no wrong. Let's fast forward. People are going to start turning on Bianca Belair. It's inevitable, right? And then I said Bray Wyatt wasn't going to pay off. Look where we are. I called that. And I said that people, I said we have a Cody Rhodes problem. This is the latest one where the IWC has come after me and tried to discredit my opinions, which once again are just opinions. And I'm just ahead of the curve. And a lot of you guys who are in the Discord who listen to this show, these are your thoughts too. When I say I'm speaking for us. I'm not here tooting my own horn and saying like I'm a genius. What I'm saying is the people who are in my community who are saying these same things, and not in an echo chamber way, but just we share the same sentiments. A lot of this stuff now in the Discord, I'm hearing from you guys, and then I come back and I spit it out so other people can hear it. But I'm speaking for us. We're ahead of the curve on a lot of this shit, and it's the IWC just doesn't like to hear that. So let's talk about Bobby Lashley. Let's talk about Bobby Lashley now that it seemingly is that Bray Wyatt, let's run under the assumption Bray Wyatt's not showing up at WrestleMania. He still could, but let's run under the assumption that with the couple weeks we have left, they've got to pivot and audible and do something with Bobby Lashley. What makes sense? Two things. I have two things. I have a long shot and I have the thing that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Number one, the thing that WWE really should do that would make everybody happy, that would right a lot of wrongs, is have Bobby Lashley attack Omos the week before WrestleMania, have him injure Omos, and have him replace Omos against Brock Lesnar, and let's do the right thing, and let's have Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley in a proper match that gets proper time, that ends with a clean, proper finish. That's what we should do. Now, you want to just go batshit crazy and do something wild? Have Bobby Lashley come out, or have the Hurt Business 2.0 come out to help out Omos in a match against Brock Lesnar, and have Bobby Lashley come out and assist Brock Lesnar and create a super team of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley that proceeds to smash in the heads of every other tag team. There's your long shot. Fun. Could be fun, right? Here's the problem, right? The Omos and the Brock Lesnar stuff at this point has been absolutely embarrassing. I mean, it is embarrassingly bad. This can't be how Brock Lesnar leaves WWE. I refuse to believe it. And I see the reports. I see everybody saying after this, Brock Lesnar is done with WWE. He's leaving, even though we get this report like every 6 months. But, they're really sure about it. But, this is what we want. We want this stupid, embarrassing program of Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Y'all saw the promo on Monday. That was a joke. That wasn't even like AEW quality wrestling, like promo. That wasn't even NXT level. That was like high school gym level. It was absolutely dog shit. But that's what we're getting. But the reality is what we deserve and what we should get as wrestling fans. If this is it, let's speak in definitive terms here. If Brock Lesnar's done, even if it's just for a year or two, or he's taking a break or whatever, what is the proper way for Brock Lesnar to kind of give back to the business? It's simple. Give Bobby Lashley the clean finish that he deserves. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 39, one-on-one in a proper match where Bobby Lashley gets an epic, clean finish, and he moves on from that story with a ton of momentum. What does Omos do? Come out. Let's say Omos beats Brock Lesnar. Holy shit. Is that a possibility? Is that a real is it possible that Omos beats Brock Lesnar? It can't be, right? Like I've heard people say Brock Lesnar and Omos is simply so that Brock Lesnar can show how impressive he is against a guy that size. It can't. We're not really talking about the possibility of Omos beating Brock Lesnar, right? Because what does that really do? Like, Omos isn't going from there into the world title picture. So what does it really do for Omos? Whereas Bobby Lashley, if Bobby Lashley gets a clean finish against Brock Lesnar, then you can do a multitude of things with him. You can immediately insert him into a title picture. You can have him just continue to go on and smash other like legends or big giants or whatever, Braun Strowman, however you want to go. But like, there's so many avenues that Bobby Lashley could take after beating Brock Lesnar. I don't believe it's so embarrassing. They have to, like, this has to be a ploy to get Bobby Lashley back involved in this story. Not going to talk a lot about Edge and Finn Balor. I think that's pretty solid. That's been good storytelling. That's long-term storytelling, going back to the creation of the Judgment Day all the way now to Finn versus Edge in Hell in a Cell. Everything about that screams perfect. Like, everything about that screams will be a extremely good match. Felt like they were hinting at a demon version of Finn Balor, which I like. I think a demon version of Finn Balor against like a kind of a dark version of Edge would be fun, but they've set this up. There's not a lot that needs to be said about it. I'm excited for that match. We talk about Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio being the first inductee into the Hall of Fame. I like it. I actually like it. I've been critical of them not making a Hall of Fame announcement, and I don't think that this was in any way by design. I think that they panicked, and then this worked. But I like having Rey Mysterio being inducted into the Hall of Fame because it just gives Dominic more ammunition to play with as he pokes at his dad. So I like it. I think it's a perfect build and perfect setup to a story. I think the Hall of Fame gives Dominic another way to, I guarantee you during Rey Mysterio's induction speech, he will be interrupted by Dominic Mysterio, which is cool because this is wrestling and the Hall of Fame, we do know, is a bullshit thing. So continuing a storyline into the Hall of Fame will give me a reason to watch the Hall of Fame ceremony and give me a reason to kind of follow that through. But I think outside of the bloodline stuff, this is probably the best story going into WrestleMania. And then like 6 months ago, I would have laughed if you told me that I'd have been interested in it. But Dominic Mysterio has done a good job of creating this snotty-nosed, bratty character, which I didn't think that he would ever buy into, but he bought into it, and it's the perfect character. And the whole, like, you bought me a BMW instead of Mercedes. That was perfect. Those lines were perfect. So this has been an absolutely great buildup, and I am excited for Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, WWE's got it right. They nailed it. A little hokey with the double pin on SmackDown. There were other ways to get to this conclusion, but whatever. This is the right match. This is a match. This is a sleeper match for match of the weekend. I think that it could be a big time showcase of three guys who are all hard workers. I'd like to see Sheamus win that match. I think I'd like to see Sheamus get the win, finally get his hands on the Intercontinental Championship, free up Gunther to go do bigger and better things, because I think that the second half of 2023 is going to be big for Gunther. I think that this is going to be the year of Gunther. When we get to December, I think we'll look back and he will kind of be the main feature of the year as we kind of tail off of the bloodline. So this is right. I think this is the right story. Drew doesn't need to win. Gunther doesn't need to win. He needs to kind of transition out of this. And I think that Sheamus, this is the proper time at WrestleMania for him to win that belt. And I think that makes him a Grand Slam champion, which would be a cool WrestleMania moment. So a couple people have brought this up to me about LA Knight, because we're 2.5 weeks out from WrestleMania, 3 weeks out, and LA Knight has has basically become a jobber rolling into WrestleMania. And so a couple people have brought up to me, oh, they're building towards LA Knight versus Stone Cold. I don't know if I buy that. I think it's too late. I think if that's the match you were trying to make, you're being disrespectful to LA Knight if you don't give him a couple months to build and sell that match, because I think he could have. In the same way that I think Kevin Owens did, LA Knight could have built and sold that match. But I do think, when I talk about LA Knight, I talk about booking, I don't think they're dropping the ball on LA Knight. I just don't think he's in the plan pre-WrestleMania. I think LA Knight's push is going to come after WrestleMania, and I think I'm okay with that. I think that at WrestleMania, he will have some kind of big moment. I think that some of these rumors about the Stone Cold thing could be that he gets a Stone Cold moment, which is a big deal in wrestling, to be in the ring with Stone Cold, to take that infamous stunner and have that big WrestleMania moment. And then I think post WrestleMania, we're going to start to see the kind of incline of LA Knight. I think he wins Money in the Bank. I know there's been calls for other people to win Money in the Bank, but I think I saw people calling for Finn Balor. I don't think Finn Balor needs it. I think LA Knight is the right choice to win Money in the Bank, and I think LA Knight is the right choice post WrestleMania to get that push. So I'm not real worried about that. It does kind of suck to have LA WrestleMania and not have LA Knight. Couple more things I want to talk about. I want to talk about Austin Theory, and someone brought up to me that what happens if John Cena wins at WrestleMania? And I talked about this, I think, last week. I'd put that at a 1% chance. I think there's a 1% chance. John Cena is not winning the United States Championship. This match is designed to get Austin Theory to another level. It's designed to kind of be a passing of a torch. So I don't think that happens. More importantly, the interesting thing I saw this last week was I like the idea of Montez Ford as a United States champion quickly. I think that coming out of WrestleMania, if Austin Theory beats John Cena, which, like I said, 99% chance that happens, I think that you immediately have to put him into a program. There was chemistry. It looked good. Montez Ford. And I think, obviously, this is what I think they're doing. I don't think I'm being clever here. I think this is what the plan is. I think you put Montez Ford and Austin Theory in a match together. I think that Montez Ford wins, takes the title off of Austin Theory, and I think it's time to elevate Austin Theory to the major title kind of level of superstar and let him sink or swim. It's time to see, like, can he get in there and mix it up with the big boys? Can he be in a ring with a Roman Reigns? Can he be in the ring with a Drew McIntyre, a Seth Rollins, and not just in like a United States Championship capacity, but can he hold together Monday Night Raw when he's the big title and he's got to be the main event? I'm not going to say yes or no, but I think it's time to get, he had a good run, nice little run with the United States Championship, but it's time to get back to using that for what it's for, in giving it to somebody who needs the build. And I think Montez Ford is the prime example for somebody who could benefit from a United States title run. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. The last thing I want to talk about was just my overall excitement level for WrestleMania this year. And it's low. It's low. I think you can tell by the way I'm talking that my excitement level is low, because I've had a couple people present to me this list of matches, and they present it in a way of like, how could you not like this? Look at all these great matches. You've got Logan and Seth. You've got Roman and Cody. You've got KO and Sammy versus the Usos. You've got Rhea and Charlotte. You've got Asuka and Bianca. And individually, those matches are fine. And on paper, they absolutely could look good. Now, I've argued if you condense this card down to one night and you cut the fat, you probably got yourself an extremely strong, solid card. The fact that we have to split this up into two and water it down, once again, I don't love it. Brings my excitement level down a little bit. Number two, I think the problem with a little bit of my excitement here is that we've been building a WrestleMania with a bunch of absent superstars. We're trying to build a WrestleMania around guys like Logan Paul, who's not there on a weekly basis. We're trying to build a WrestleMania around John Cena, who's not there on a weekly basis. We're trying to build a main event in WrestleMania around Roman Reigns, who wasn't on SmackDown last week. Like, I get that Roman is essentially a part-time guy, that he doesn't have to show up. But would you agree that in the last 6 weeks leading into WrestleMania, he should be on every SmackDown? And possibly some Monday Night Raws? If you're trying to build this up to be a big deal, if you're trying to sell this, where has Jey Uso been? And then all of a sudden when Jey Uso shows back up, Roman's not there. I just, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's causing me to lose interest, is that we don't have the main players on TV on a weekly basis. So we have guys filling in, right? We have like The Miz is having to fill in for Logan Paul. And you have the Bloodline story continues to overshadow Cody and Roman. And you have Theory, who looked like he was getting into a feud with Montez Ford instead of really focusing on John Cena. And so maybe that's what it is. Maybe I look at this card and I go, there's just not enough of the main guys there to keep me excited. I still don't believe Asuka and Bianca Belair is a WrestleMania 39 match. I joked back when we were told that we were getting Becky, Ronda, and what was it, Charlotte, Bianca? Those seem more like WrestleMania matches. But now we've got Damage Control versus Lita, Trish, and Becky. That's not, to me, that's a fun like SummerSlam match. That's a fun match that you throw on a card that doesn't have quite enough firepower to get everybody excited. It's not a WrestleMania match. The titles aren't even on the line. What are we doing? And so if it seems like I'm a little down on WrestleMania 39, I am. And it's not. There's a possibility that WrestleMania 39 comes and goes and we go, great, it was good. I think there's a bigger possibility that it comes and goes and we go, wasn't bad, but it was a little bit forgettable. Because here's what happens. This is what happens. The day after WrestleMania 39 ends, Monday, maybe not Monday because Monday gets a good fallout, but let's say a week after, right? Logan's not going to be there anymore. Logan's gone. He'll be back to doing Logan Paul things. Cena will go back to Hollywood. He won't be there, right? And Roman Reigns will presumably go back to the Roman Reigns schedule. And so it's hard for me to get excited for some of these matches that are billed as the big matches on the card when you kind of know what's going to happen. Like I don't know who wins Seth and Logan, but even Logan winning, I don't know what that builds to. I think it's pretty obvious that Theory's going to beat Cena. And I guess it's still a coin toss on whether Roman beats Cody, but I'm more and more leaning to the fact that I think Roman Reigns should beat Cody Rhodes, and we should just continue on with this Bloodline thing. But 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, and your undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion isn't on TV, it absolutely makes no sense to me. But that is all the time that we have this week for the show. Make sure to tell a friend, to listen and like and subscribe to this week's episode. Make sure to tune into the Nerdy D show as well, where me and Lauren talk about all kinds of random fun topics like what sports team we're going to cheer for, or what type of foods and different snack topics, all kind of crazy shit. It's fun. And then we post it in the Discord and we give everybody an opportunity to kind of chime in. But as always, I am the Notorious Nerdy D, and I'm going to ring the final bell. Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Hey, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Don't be sure that you gon' find. Tune in 'cause it's online.